Hi. Today I'm actually talking about dyslexia because my daughter went to parent evening last night and she came home quite depleted and quite upset actually because of the way the teachers spoke to her about her son. I'm actually going to turn the camera around because this is lovely where I am. I'll continue talking but I'll let you see where I am. So yeah, she came home. The little girl who's actually just in reception at the moment, she seems to be doing okay. But her son, who's 9, seems to be quite good at maths and science. He doesn't seem to be struggling in those. But where he is struggling is English. His reading seems to be okay, but he can't seem to write or spell, and becoming quite frustrated with himself and getting angry about it and then not wanting to do it, and he's finding any excuse he can not to have to do the work. That's in school and at home. And I've noticed actually, because they're living with me at the moment, as you probably know, and I've been trying to do his homework with him, and yes, his writing is quite illegible. And he does get some words totally wrong, some lettering totally wrong. But what the hell is wrong with schools? Why do they not have the support in schools for people like this? They seem to have to follow a plan that the school has got. You must do this, you must do that, you must do your 7+ exams or 11+ exams or whatever the hell they're called nowadays. And then you've got to do your GCSEs, and if you can't pass these GCSEs, then is it the end of the world for these kids? No, it bloody isn't. There are so many people out there that are dyslexic that are doing absolutely fantastic. It is not the end for them. What my grandson is doing, he's actually finding ways to make his life easier, and I actually think that's quite ingenious. So if he can problem solve and make his task easier, what's the problem with that? Because it's not set down in the rules of school. No, you're not meant to do it like that. Now, Enzo, come here, you've got to stick up your bum. Why are they always prickly ones as well? Come here, come here. Ouch. Why are they always the spiky ones? Well, if they weren't spiky, they wouldn't stick to you, would they? But, so why are kids made to feel abnormal in school? Why are they singled out in school? It seems to me that this teacher that was talking to my daughter last night only focused on the negatives of her son and not the actual positives, what he could do. Because at the end of it, she says, well, what about his maths? What about, oh yeah, he's okay at them. So she said to her, why couldn't you just focus on that? Why are you just focusing on the negatives here? It's not the end of the world that he can't read or write properly or spell. But schools have this curriculum that they have to stick to, and they can't seem to adapt from that curriculum and adjust their way of teaching for special needs children or people like my grandson that seems to have, he hasn't actually been officially diagnosed, but now she's got to pay £400 to have this test done to find out if he is actually dyslexic, so that he can go up into high school with this piece of paper saying yes, he is dyslexic. I feel that's a cop out for school. It's just to cover their back. It seems they're more focused on, look at it here, yeah, beautiful, lovely autumn day. I've actually got my coat on for the first time in ages. Yeah, they seem to be just focused on their Ofsted report and how well the school is doing, and it covers them. Now, I'm an ex-driving instructor, And I've had many a pupil with me who don't have the same learning curve as other pupils, and I've always had to adapt my lesson for each individual pupil that I get. Some pupils don't understand a certain way of being taught, so you have to adapt it to make sure that they can understand that. And I get that. But it seems to me schools can't do that. If you've got a highly intelligent child, they're ridiculed because the teacher can't cope with highly intelligent pupils. They will be told, for example, highly intelligent ones, they've always got a question, and that answer is followed up by another question, whereas your average child will be happy with that simple explanation, but a highly intelligent child is not going to be happy with a simple explanation. So they're told, "Oh, go look it up in the library and come back." Now the teacher will then probably have to go look it up in the library because they know that that child is going to come back with a question after they've been gone up to the teacher with the answer. It's going to follow on with another question. Why can't teachers adapt their way of teaching to individual children who are either struggling or not, rather than just putting it all on the parent? He gets homework on a Friday that's got to be in by the next week, but he's refusing to do it. He's going into meltdown, he's going into tantrums, finding any excuse he can do not to do this homework. Now Katie, his mum, will work all weekend, and she does 12-hour shifts, so when she comes home on a night, it's usually about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. She can't sit down and do homework with her son and then get up again the following morning at 5:30 to get to work again and be back again at 10 o'clock and have this homework done for Monday morning. And she's explained this to school, but it's not the bloody end of the world. There are different roads that these kids can go down. So many children come out of school with no education, no GCSEs. They're not failures. They find other ways in life. They find their path. They find what they're interested in. They find what they're good at. They are good at something out there, and they are usually doing really well. And then you've got the other spectrum, the university students going off to university, coming out of university with all these degrees, all these qualifications, and no bloody job at the end of it. So, to me, I've just told Kate, it's not the end of the world, Kate. It's not the end for him. He will succeed in life, and he will do it in his own way. And if he's good at problem solving, which he is good at, and if he can find an easy way round to do a particular job, what is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that. We cannot let schools and colleges and all this, you must do this, you must do that, control our lives. Technology has taken over, and yeah, he is a little bit addicted to his tablet, and we do need to kind of like rein that in a little bit. But this is the way the world is going now, isn't it? It's all technology. Now, if he can work a tablet, work a computer, work his problems out on that way, what is wrong with that? That's the way the world is going nowadays. I just don't think all this pressure that they put on young children in school is particularly fair, especially ones who are struggling with certain subjects. Dyslexia is not the end. It can be something quite good, to be honest with you, because some of them do know how to get over this particular problem, and they can mask it and they can cover it up and they can get through life. There are lots of people out there that get through life with dyslexia. I just think schools need to have these provisions in place, especially at high school, but there's nothing in high school for them. They seem to be cared for a little bit more in junior school, but then when they go up to high school, if they haven't got this particular piece of paper that now the teachers are pushing for my daughter to get, he'll get left behind, ignored in high school, or not get the support and help that he's going to need. And I'd be very interested now to find out what kind of support, if he is dyslexic, what kind of support will be in place when he does go up to high school. He's got another year. But yeah, that's it. So we've had a massive discussion this morning regarding that, and I'm hoping she's feeling a little bit better about it. But it's just, my grandson is now starting to get, it's his anger now that's coming out of him, and it's showing in school. He talks too much, he's becoming a little bit disruptive in lesson because he don't stop talking, or is refusing to do something, and the teachers are saying, yeah, we've noticed that, because at least Katie, my daughter, said, no, I'm really struggling to get him to do this, and they've said, oh yeah, we've seen that. I thought, what? There just don't seem to be any empathy whatsoever, none whatsoever. But it's not the end, definitely not the end of the road for him. If he gets through school and just scrapes through, he'll find his own path. He'll find his niche that he'll go into, and I'm sure he'll do well. Just like anyone else out there that's got dyslexia, it is not the end of the world for you. You will find something that you enjoy doing, that you are good at doing, and dyslexia will not stop you from succeeding in life. So don't let any teacher or anybody say otherwise. It's definitely not true. Okay, I'll leave you there. Bye for now.